Hey everyone, welcome back to another pick a card reading. Today's timeless pick a card reading is all about answering the question, what do people adore about you? In this reading, we're going to find out what people think of you, what they love, and how they feel about you. Please remember that how you feel about yourself is way more important than what others say about you. But think of this reading as a little added bonus or compliment to your day. These readings are meant to empower you. Remember, this is a general reading, so simply take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Today's reading is timeless, which means that these messages are meant for you to hear no matter when you come across this reading. If you like to explore my crystal and jewelry shop or e-courses, check out the links in my description. So if you are new to pick a card readings, here's how it works. The first thing that you're going to do is you are going to pick the pile or the crystal that you are the most intuitively drawn to. So we have pile 1 here with the blue apatite crystal. We have pile 2 here with the purple fluorite crystal. We have pile 3 here with the clear quartz crystal. And we have pile 4 here with the rose quartz crystal. If you need more time to choose, please pause the video, but when you are ready, please go to the description of this video or the pinned comment to find the timestamp that is linked to your pile. Then you can skip ahead to your reading all about what people adore about you. I will see you on the inside. Hi Pile 1, welcome to your general reading. If you'd like to explore my crystal or jewelry shop or e-courses, please check out the links in my description. Now let's dive into your reading all about answering the question, what do people adore about you? Okay, so the first card that we have here is the Ace of Swords. So people really adore that you're a visionary, Pile 1. I feel like you have a really powerful mind and you're someone with a lot of mental clarity. I also feel like you're someone who is very focused and dedicated. I really do feel like you're an action taker who is willing to take the lead and take charge. And people say that you're someone who communicates well and has really great communication skills. So with the Ace of Swords here, I really do think that you're someone who has some really inspiring new ideas. I feel like others say that you have just the most brilliant thoughts and breakthroughs and inspirational energy. And I do feel like you have the power of intellect. Like you have this natural ability to reason with logic and objectivity. You see things from new points of views, views that others can't always see. And I really think that people adore that you're someone who likes to operate with a clear conscience. So I do feel like you treat others the way that you would like to be treated, and that's with respect, right? So I do feel like people say that you're someone who is very justice and truth-based, and you're someone who can cut through to the truth and see through the BS and deception. With this card, I also feel like you help others to broaden their mind and their perspectives. And many of you have this like light worker energy. And I feel like you were meant to help others evolve and shift their consciousness and thinking in some way. And people say that you're a thought leader, Pile 1. So I really like that. We do have the Pleiades card here, and it says double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. So with this card, I would think that people admire you because you are someone who's very wise and knowledgeable. I do think that you have a unique perspective on the world, one that's able to accommodate multiple perspectives and viewpoints of others. I also feel like some of you have already gone through spiritual awakenings where you've woken up to your own inner truth and you've expanded your levels of consciousness. And in turn, I do feel like you can teach others to do the same. So I really do feel like you were meant to bring about change in the world, and you were meant to help empower others to empower themselves through their own awakening, right? And through their own up-leveling in consciousness. So yes. And some of you here in this pile, you may be drawn to spiritual things, Reiki, meditation, divination, tarot readings and oracle readings like this, energy healing. And if so, this is your sign to go for it, right? Like if you're interested in doing this as a hobby or maybe like starting a business around it, then this is definitely your sign to go for it. because this represents you having a very natural talent in this field. So really, pile 1, you were meant to step up and lead. So we have the Administrator card here, and it says Saturn. So it says, I walk with a foot in both the earthly and spiritual realms. Some words that people could use to describe you are practical, grounded, persevering, wise, dedicated, strong, purposeful, leading, organized, structured, confident, strategic, assertive, disciplined, humanistic, and moral. Yeah, so with this card, I really think that people adore that you're the type of person who knows how to uplift and uplevel other people's lives just by bringing a sense of planning and practicality to the table, right? People really love that you're a leader. You know how to put the right systems in place so that others can take a practical plan towards their goals and their dreams. And I feel like you're very talented at leading organizations and being a boss who truly leads the way. We do have the Spirit Fox card here, and it says, trust your talents in changing times. So with this card, I really do think that people adore that you're very adaptable. I think people would say that you do well with change and you do well with being flexible, and people love how resilient you are. And really, there's nothing that can like fully stop you or defeat you, because you're the type of person that just keeps going, right? And you keep moving forward no matter the circumstances. I really do feel like you're a survivor, pile 1. So people love that you know how to stand up for yourself and others when you feel that you're not being treated the way that you should be. And people also really love that you stand in your authenticity as well, and you're not afraid to let your true self be seen. Okay, we have the Uruz card here. So this rune symbolizes things like strength and power and the ox, right? The animal, the ox. So people also adore that you're a very strong and resilient person. I do feel like you have a lot of courage, and other people really adore this in you. And some of you just have this wild side that others adore as well, which I think is a perfect segue into talking about the backpack card here, because I really do feel like you have this very adventurous side, this side that loves to explore and experience new places and new people and new cultures. I think that you're a person that's very independent and you know how to travel lightly. I think that you would be someone who would be like great at traveling or kind of helping others to travel. And, you know, this could also represent someone who is very skilled and very versed in kind of like inner growth or like inner traveling, right? So yes, I do feel like, again, when I see this backpack card, I feel like you're a very prepared person, which is, you know, something that was confirmed with the Administrator card here. I feel like you're very organized, you're very prepared, and you're that type of person that others love because, like, maybe you have, like, everything in your bag, right? Like, maybe someone's like, oh my gosh, like, I need a Band-Aid, and you're like, girl, I got you. Like, I got everything. I got a first aid kit in my backpack. I got everything, you know? Like, I feel like a lot of you in this pile are those type of people, and others are like, oh, thank God, like, you truly have their back. So, we do have the Trust card here, and on the bottom of this card, it says, allow me, divine, to give you my deepest longings, trusting you to know exactly how to handle them. Yeah, you know, beyond that, I do feel like with the Trust card here, I do feel like others really love that you're very trustworthy. I feel like you're a very honest person. I feel like you are very, you know, like we mentioned before, you're very ethics-based, you're very truth-based. I think that you're focused on fairness and equality. And so I really think that others can appreciate that you're a very trustworthy person. I feel like you're also the type of person who is committed to evolving, you know, like continuously evolving over time. We have the butterflies here, and butterflies symbolize transformation, right? And kind of like spiritual growth and evolution. And what I'd actually love to do is do a quick book divination from my Animal Power book. It's actually not my animal power book. It's the one by Allison Charles. But let's get more information from the butterfly spirit. So here's the Animal Power book. I'll have this book as well as all of these cards and all of these crystals linked for you in the description. But let's get into the butterfly card. Okay. So it says butterfly. So I'm thinking that some of these terms here are going to be things that people adore about you. So it says butterfly, metamorphosis, joyous flight, lightheartedness, shape-shifting, synchronicity, and beauty. Wow, I love this. Okay, and it says when to work with me. When you're ready to evolve with joy, when you want to be filled with lightheartedness, when you're ready to get in sync with the energy of the universe, when you're ready to accept that the magic of life is right here, right now. Yes, I also think that when I see butterflies, I always think that it's a sign that you're on the right path as well. And also, I think it also symbolizes that a past loved one is nearby. They love you. They're thinking about you. So, yes. Now, let's get into our little bit of... I like to think of these final cards as like an insight card for the end of the reading. So, let's read it together. And excuse my dog. She is barking in the background. Okay. So, it says, playing small. Are you playing small? The answer may not be as clear-cut as you think it is. You can be working towards your goals and still be playing small. It could look like not giving something your all just in case things go wrong. It might sound like saying, not right now, when you're perfectly ready. Be honest with yourself. Are you holding back? What would be possible if you decided to show up fully? I'm going to repeat that one more time. Be honest with yourself. Are you holding back? What would be possible if you decided to show up fully? All right, the next thing that I want to do is I want to get more messages for you from the tea leaf fortune cards. So what else does pile 1 need to know for their highest and best good? Okay, we've got some cards here. So we've got mountain. It says major challenge to overcome. We've got angel. It says spiritual guidance, protection from harm. We have vine. It says seek out information that will help you. And we have bat, take care, enemies are working against you. We have more. We have fan, romance, celebration, and party. And then we have camel, and it says persevere and you will overcome problems. Okay, so what I'm getting in general from these tea leaf cards is that you need to be reminded that you are really highly protected from harm, right? So those of you who are going through major challenges, maybe you have major mountains to climb, maybe you feel like others haven't been treating you fairly, just know that you're very protected, especially on a spiritual level. And it's almost like this reminder to trust and have faith that you are being guided, you are being protected, and to trust your intuition so that you can get the information that you need and that will help you, right? And with this, you know, it'll all lead to more positive times, right? So when you persevere, you're going to be in a place where you can celebrate, right? Where romance is in the air, where better times are on the horizon. So yes, okay. Thank you so much, pile 1. Please give this video a like if it resonated. Comment below with what pile you chose. I love to chat with you all in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. There's a ton of you out there who have been watching, who have not subscribed, and I would love to have you here. So thank you. Take care of yourself. I hope to see you back on the next reading. And until next time, bye, pile 1. Hi, pile 2. Welcome to your general reading. If you'd like to explore my crystal and jewelry shop or e-courses, please check out the links in my description. Now let's dive into your reading, all about answering the question, what do people adore about you? Okay, so with the Hermit here, people adore that you're very independent, pile 2. I feel like you're not afraid to spend time alone or be by yourself. A side note here, some of you in this pile could be seen as someone who's quiet or someone who keeps to themselves. Many of you could be someone who prefers to keep their life private, but you're the kind of person who's not afraid to remove yourself from society, you know, to get some alone time so that you can get more in tune with your own inner wisdom and your own inner voice. I do feel like you're someone who is very reflective, and you could also be someone who is curious about the search for the self, right? Like maybe you're interested in learning about the inner workings of your soul. I do feel like people really adore that you're very intuitive as well. Like I feel like you just know things, and sometimes it just can't be explained with logic. And you really do have this magic to you that others notice right off the bat. So people say that you're someone who is very wise and experienced. You're someone who is very accomplished and successful. And people say that you're someone who is competent and mature. So I do think that people really love that you're someone who, you know, has personal authority and has power, right? You're the type of person who really trusts themselves and who really trusts your intuition. So I do think that people, they really see you as someone who's very deep, someone who's very introspective. And another thing here is that I do think that people really love that you're the type of person who completes things that they want to start, right? Or that they do end up starting. So others see you as someone who is a guide or a mentor to them, and people want to seek out your wisdom pile too. Like I really do think that you have some very important and wise knowledge to impart on others, and this is your sign to not be afraid to share what's on your heart. So the astrological association with this card is Virgo. So maybe some of you have Virgo in your sun, moon, or rising signs, or maybe somewhere significant in your birth chart. Maybe this is a sign of another person, or maybe this is just the energy at play here. And Virgo is a very logical sign. They're practical, they're systematic, they're methodical, and they're really quick thinkers. Okay. So we have the mirror card here, and it says, who or what is triggering you? So I also think that others adore that you have this natural ability to help others work through their triggers. Like, I feel like many of you act as a mirror to others, really reflecting back what they're putting out into the world. And I feel like you have this beautiful understanding that our triggers are here to teach us something, right? Like they're here to give us more information or insight about something. So like, for example, your anger could kind of key you into like a boundary of yours that's been crossed, right? And this could help you identify the types of boundaries that you need to set in your life, right? So our feelings are ultimately trying to communicate things to us, and I think that you're the type of person who can see it like that. So others really adore this about you, and I also think that there's this unique part of you that also has the ability to help others feel seen and witnessed, and I do think that you know how to acknowledge the deepest parts of others that they really wish that could be witnessed, you know, so they really truly appreciate and adore you for this. The next card that I have here is the King, and it says Sun, and it says, I powerfully lead my mission. So people adore that you are regal, that you're powerful, that you're passionate, courageous, sovereign, responsible, benevolent, creative, innovative, directive, inspiring, a visionary, and respected. I do think that with this card, people love that you're someone who is empowered and someone who knows how to empower others as well. I think that many of you may have big visions that you'd like to carry out in this lifetime and that you'd like to see through to success. So I feel like many of you would make great entrepreneurs or business owners. Many of you are skilled at creating wealth and abundance in your life, and I feel like you have a knack for helping others do so too. So many people look up to you for your leadership skills, how organized you are, and how well you plan things. So another thing that people adore about you is your generous heart. Okay, so we have the Autumn, Release the Old and Rest card. So another thing here is that people adore you because you have this like seasonal or cyclical nature about you. So I feel like you're very in tune with the seasons and how they work for us in terms of energy. Like for example, the winter time is a time to rest and prepare. The spring is a time for new beginnings, opportunities, and taking action. And summer is a time for growth and expansion, and fall is a time to let go and harvest the seeds that you have planted. I think you're very in tune with the seasons, and I also think that others love how you have this ability to surrender to the divine and you have patience with timing, right? Like you know that what's meant for you will not miss you. And I also think that many of you are, admired and adored for your focus on healing, right? Or your desire to focus on healing. I think that people also love that you're not afraid to let go and release the people and the places and the things that are not serving your highest and best good. We do have the octopus card here. Right off the bat, I really do think that people adore your intelligence, because octopus is a very, very intelligent creature. I really do think that you're very crafty. So I think that you're able to kind of navigate and get yourself out of like really tricky, tight situations as well. And I also think that you're very flexible, you're very adaptable, and this is something that other people adore about you as well. Let's see, the back of this card says, always be on the lookout for the presence of wonder. Wow, okay. So a lot of you are probably tapped into kind of this beautiful sense of wonder. I feel like, I don't know, I can almost like imagine other people looking at you, kind of going about your day or walking through your life, and them being like, oh my God, like what they have, you know, to drink today, like not in a bad way, but like what's, you know, what was in their coffee. Because I feel like you walk around with the energy of possibility and the energy of magic and the energy of optimism and hope. And it's really, really something that others really adore about you. And I think they want to emulate that as well. But before we move on to the next card, I want to get more information from the octopus spirit. I have my animal power book here. So here's the animal power book. We're going to get more information from the octopus spirit about what people adore about you. I'll have this book linked for you in the description, as well as all of the decks for the cards that you see here today and the crystals. There's also additional crystals in my shop, so if you don't see anything here that you like, please feel free to explore the links in my description. Okay, so octopus spirit. Okay, so we have some words to describe some of the characteristics that other people adore about you. So the first thing that it says here is multitasking, genius, healing, mysteriousness, regeneration, unique, loosening up, infinite evolution, and flow. I would also say that people really love how graceful you are. I think the way that you carry yourself is very graceful, but some of you could be dancers or be very skilled with moving your body. And then it says when to work with me. So you want to work with octopus spirit when you need to multitask, when you want to experience life with more grace and ease, when you need to heal something, when you need to loosen up, when you want to be alluring, when you're ready to be independent, when you want to connect to the mystical dance of the universe. So the next card that we have here is Wunjo. And so Wunjo is actually from the runes deck, and this rune symbolizes things like joy, and it also symbolizes things like happiness and pleasure. So another thing that others adore about you is that you're very connected to your own joy and happiness. I do think that people love that you're a good time pile too. And I feel like you're just super fun to be around, and your energy is really magnetic, right? Like we had mentioned before. So I feel like you're the type of person who can get along with others really easily. You make others laugh. You're literally a ray of sunshine in people's day. And I feel like being around you feels like a fresh start and a new beginning. And it's very exciting to be around you. I do feel like others feel very fulfilled and blissful while engaged in conversation with you. And your relationships, they really cherish you. So I do think, yeah, you're just a very positive, joyful person, and this is what people love. We do have gratitude. So I do feel like there are a lot of people out there who are very, very grateful for you. They're grateful for just who you are. They're grateful to have you in their lives. And I just really think that, I don't know, there's just this deep level of like honor and like respect, like I feel like other people feel a deep level of honor and respect to have you in their lives. So that's huge. And what does this say down here? Fill me with gratitude for all you give. May I be a vehicle for you wherever you go. I also think that another thing that people love about you is that you operate in gratitude, right? And I do think that you actually have this unique ability to realize that gratitude can actually be used as a tool to manifest our desires and to bring in more of what we want. if you're interested in learning more about how to use gratitude as a tool, I really like the book Thank and Grow Rich by Pam Grout. I will link that book for you in the description as well. Okay, and then we have the alternate reality card here. So I like to think of this final card as kind of like, I like to think of this final card as like an additional message for you. So it says, what if? You've probably asked this question while gazing through the rearview mirror of your life. What if you'd said yes? What if you'd say no? Pose this question to yourself while looking forward. Imagine 3 alternate realities for your future, guided by the question, what if? The size of your what if is up to you. Questions could range from, what if I moved to a different country, to what if I unplugged for one day every week? Get caught up in possibility. Ooh, I like this. I'm just thinking of an example, like, okay, so for me, I was kind of doing this experiment where I, decided that I was going to take time away from Instagram and focus my efforts on pouring my energy into my YouTube channel and being here with you all. And so, I do feel like I had so this is just an example. In that point, I had entertained the idea of maybe taking a break, right, from social media. And then specifically Instagram. And then I put it to the test. I did some experimenting, and literally it gave me a whole new reality. I didn't have that unconscious, I don't know. It's interesting. I think many of us can log on to Instagram and be like, no, I don't compare myself to others. I'm fine. I'm just catching up on what's going on. But I think after you do enough scrolling, after you do enough doom scrolling, I've just been observing how I feel afterwards, and it's not I feel drained after I look through Instagram. So I started to realize that I would value prioritizing my friendships in real time, prioritizing my relationships in real time, in the physical presence, right? So I do think that it kind of stepping away from Instagram has helped me to step back into actual reality. And it's been the best alternate reality ever. So anyway, I just thought that I'd share a story. Maybe some of you can relate to that. And then finally, I just want to pull some tea leaf cards for you to get any other additional information that you might need to know during this reading. So what else does pile 2 need to know for their highest and best good? What else does pile 2 need to know? Okay, so looking at all of these cards here, what I'm seeing is that, for those of you who are going through times of fear, maybe you're worried about money, maybe you're worried about, maybe you're kind of feeling some tensity in your relationships, in your experiences, just know that you are very highly protected from any sort of negative forces around you, right? So if things feel out of your control, just know that you're highly protected by the divine. You could maybe use this time to take a more calculated approach, a little bit more of a, it's more of a time to make educated guesses instead of taking huge risks or making impulsive decisions, right? And then let's see, what else am I seeing here? This is kind of random, but many of you have a secret admirer. And then I see here deep friendship with someone of the same sex. So maybe some of you are going to be developing a very deep and connected relationship with someone of the same gender as you. For some of you, this could be a younger woman. But yeah, I do feel like the overall energy is that you will be experiencing love, deep affection, and caring. Just keep remembering you're highly protected from any sort of drama, any sort of fear-based thoughts, any sort of negative experiences or energy. So that's all great news. Thank you so, so much, Pile 2. I hope that this reading resonated with you. Please give this video a like if it did. Comment below with what pile you chose. I love to chat with you all in the comments. And subscribe if you have not already. There's definitely a ton of you out there who have been watching who have not subscribed yet. So I'd love to have you as a part of my community. Thank you. Take care of yourself. I will see you next time. And yeah, bye, Pile 2. Hi, Pile 3. Welcome to your general reading. If you'd like to explore my crystal or jewelry shop or e-courses, please check out the links in my description. Now let's dive into your reading, all about answering the question, what do people adore about you? So with the Temperance card here, people adore that you're someone who is very balanced, Pile 3. I feel like you're someone who is very patient, you're very calm, and you're very gentle. And I feel like people say it feels very peaceful and serene when they're around your energy. I do feel like you're someone who also has a lot of self-control, and maybe you're someone who isn't interested in controlling others, right? Like you kind of like operate under this like live and let live motto, and I do feel like you let others live their own life and you let them kind of experience their own journey in their own way, and that's what others really adore about you. I feel like you do also have the natural ability to bring clarity and rational thought and moderation to the table. I would also say that people think that you are a great mediator and you're someone with a very clear vision. I think that people also adore that you're someone who is very practical and intentional. You're someone who achieves great success by practicing good habits one day at a time. It's kind of like that slow and steady wins the race energy. But you really are someone who maintains your values and your priorities, and this is all like despite what other people tell you or what the external world tells you. And I feel like you're very good at like mixing and combining the resources that you have at hand with the skills that you bring to the table. So I do feel like you're very excellent at the creative process, and you're very excellent with the creative process. And you're good at being flexible and adapting to situations. I feel like you're really excellent with working with others in a very harmonious and productive way. And I do think that people would say that you're someone who is very focused on health and healing as well. You really just have this tranquil energy about you, Pile 3. I absolutely love it. And I feel like people say that you're like a literal angel. So I keep hearing the song like Lips of an Angel by Hinder, or I'm not sure who the original artist is, but keep hearing that. So I do think that you're very angelic, and yeah, you're just a whole vibe. People love this about you, Pile 3. We do have the play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious card. So with this, I think that people also adore that you're very tapped into the energy of fun and play. So I feel like others love that you don't take yourself or your life too seriously, and I think that you like to keep things like lighthearted and fun. I also feel like you're a very creative person who has inspiration that comes from when you tap into your joy and you have fun. I feel like you make other people laugh, and your energy is very bold and vibrant. I do think that you really light people up in a way that just can't be described in words. And I also feel like other people adore your successes and accomplishments, and they really love to celebrate your wins with you. I think just overall, others really love that you know how to make time for play, and you actually schedule it into your life. So very cool, Pile 3. We do have the Muse card here, and it says, I inspire and I am inspired. So we have some words there's Venus energy here. So obviously you're very beautiful, you're very aesthetically pleasing. And we have some words to describe some of the things that people adore about you. So people adore that you're intuitive, that you're inspired, that you're idealistic, that you're creative, divinely connected, passionate, emotional, sensitive, empathetic, and magical. So yeah, I think with this card, people love that you are this beautiful, wonderful channel for beauty and creativity. And I feel like many of you have a life purpose that's centered around creating inspiration for others through art and beauty. So yeah, I really do think that other people love the way that you creatively express yourself through your art, and your art could look very different than the way that others create their art. And I really think that that's the magic in it all. So yeah, for those of you who identify as introverts, this is something that others really adore about you as well. But I feel like you have this unique style that other people really admire and they want to emulate as well. And I really do think that you are just this true inspiration for others' works of art as well. Hence the Muse card showing up. So yes, we also have the Hunter card, and it says track down your fears and desires. So with this card, another thing that others love about you is your tenacity and your fearlessness. And it's not that you don't feel fear, you're human, but it's that you feel the fear and you do it anyway, right? So others admire that you're not afraid to go after your dreams and desires with full force. I feel like there's no stopping you when you set your mind to something, and people really adore your inner strength, pile 3. So you have this amazing sense of vitality and resilience within you that can't be denied. And I also feel like you're the type of person who likes to get to the bottom of why you're feeling the fear, right? So I feel like you're curious about the emotions that arise within you. And I think that the reason why you're so emotionally intelligent is because you're willing to look at your feelings objectively at the root. So I think that this really inspires others to want to do the same for themselves as well. Like, I really think that other people are like, dang, like he or she, or, you know, they're so emotionally intelligent. And like, it's not that like you mask your feelings or you hide them or you don't make your feelings other people's problem. Like, it's not like that. It's like you're very keyed in, you're very tuned in, and you're able to look at your emotions objectively and kind of like take a step back. And others really, really admire that about you. So yes. Okay, we do have the red cardinal card here. So right off the bat, I'm thinking that a lot of you are very connected to your ancestors, to your heritage, right? So yeah, I do think that that's one thing that people really adore about you. And you speak your truth with confidence, right? So even if you feel like, okay, if you feel a little bit more introverted, I think that when there's a topic that you're passionate about or that you're well versed in, you speak that truth with confidence. And I think that's what other people really adore about you. It says nature always wears the colors of the spirit. So I do feel like you have a very colorful personality. You're very playful. You're very fun. I have this animal power book. I will link this for you in the description, as well as all the decks from the cards that you see here today. And I'll have all the crystals in my crystal shop linked for you in the description as well. Let's get more information on elephant. I basically like to pick up on more information from whatever animal spirits are showing up in the readings. So looking for elephant in the wrong section. Okay, elephant, perfect. So let's see what people adore about you. Okay, so people adore your incredible wisdom, your kindness, your power, your happiness, your family, removing obstacles, regality, your sense of smell. And it says when to work with me. And it says when you want to connect with family, when you want to unlock your ancient wisdom, when you want to be more likable, when you want to be adventurous, more adventurous, and when you want to remove blocks, when you want more self-honor. Very neat. Ooh. So let's get back into the reading. So we have the Algiz card here, and so this is from the Runes deck, and it symbolizes things like protection or protective forces. So I feel like others love that you're very protective over your loved ones and the people that you care the most about. I feel like you make others feel safe and secure, and others also adore that you have strong boundaries in place and you're not afraid to enforce them. So others also admire that you have this very strong and empowered mindset. I feel like you don't allow yourself to stay in victim mentality. And another message here is that you're very highly protected by your loved ones, by your ancestors, by your angels, right? By God, the universe, your higher self, whatever it is that resonates with you. We have space for everybody's beliefs here on this channel. But yeah, so we also do have the word sanctity here, and it says through offering, even the most mundane problem can become a sacrament. So another thing that people adore about you, because right, like sanctity means like holy, right? Or sacred or saintly. So I do think that people hold you in a very high regard. Some people may even put you up on a pedestal, but people do think that you're very divine, you're very holy. And like in a way, I don't mean it in like a religious way. I just mean it like people just think that you're very like I don't know, I feel like they believe that, you know, like if you're in a relationship with someone or you're in friendship with someone, I do believe that these people hold your relationship sacred, right? It means a lot to them. And then I want to talk about the intro card here. So this final card, I like to think of this as like a little piece of advice or a little prompt to kind of guide you into some kind of self-inquiry. So we have the intro card here, and it says, okay, intro. So the world is a noisy place, and that noise makes its way into your mind. When your inner landscape is swirling, it's time to ground. Return to yourself. Feel way down to your roots. Move through all the thoughts and emotions to remind yourself of who you are. Getting grounded doesn't always feel good in the moment, but it will do you good. When you can hear yourself, the noise doesn't seem so loud. Well, I'll just mention some of my favorite ways to ground my energy. So I like walking barefoot, like outside in the grass. There's actually like science to kind of like back up and support the evidence that shows that this is actually really good for your health and really positive. If you don't have the ability to like walk around on grass, just getting outside, getting some fresh air is amazing. Walking. Drinking water is very grounding, and then also taking a deep breath. I like doing box breathing, so you can Google how to do box breathing, but of course be sure that you don't have any conditions that would make you not be able to do box breathing. But yeah, use that at your own discretion. And then another thing that I like to do to ground myself is to take like a bath. And if you have like Epsom salt and like lavender, throw it in there, even better. So yeah. Okay, the last thing that I want to do here is I want to pull some tea leaf fortune cards for you and get any additional information that you need to know for your highest good. So what does pile 3 need to know for their highest and best good? Okay. So what I'm getting from all of this energy here is, you know, for those of you who have like gone through some sort of like parting of ways, some sort of breakup, maybe you've gone through a separation like at work or with a friendship or with something else. But if you've been feeling like something that you wish for did not happen, if you feel like somebody was being two-faced, if you felt like sad over a loss, just know that, you know, things will not always be this way. A change is coming. You are headed, you know, and this is all definitely a journey, right? Either physical or mental, but you are headed into better times, right? You're headed into more lighthearted, carefree times. And, you know, I also think that at the end of the day, right, you're going to be celebrating. You're going to be receiving recognition, right? You're going to be rewarded for your merit. So that's the message here, pile 3. I do hope that this reading resonated. Please give this video a like if it did. Comment below with what pile you chose. I love to talk to you guys in the comments. Subscribe if you have not already. There are a ton of you out there who have been watching who have not subscribed, so I'd love to have you here. And yeah, thank you. Take care of yourself. Bye, pile 3. Hi, pile 4. Welcome to your general reading. If you'd like to explore my crystal or jewelry shop or e-courses, please check out the links in my description. Now let's dive into your reading, all about answering the question, what do people adore about you? Okay, so with the 4 of Swords here, people adore that you're a very peaceful and chill and calm person, pile 4. So I feel like others naturally feel a sense of warmth from you, and some of you could be people who consider themselves to be more of an introvert or a homebody, or maybe someone who likes to keep to themselves. Or maybe for some of you, it's just that you don't mind spending time alone. For a select few of you out there, I think that some people would say that you're quiet, maybe, but people say that it feels comfortable and peaceful to be around you. I think that others adore that it's just very healing to be around you and your energy. It just really gives off like Zen vibes. Let me actually pull the card closer for you, because then you'll be able to tell what I'm talking about. So if you look at him, he's chilling. He's cruising. He looks very zen. Okay, I was just gonna say, I think that there's a lot of people out there who aren't chill, and so I'm hearing that like they can appreciate your energy, because like other people's energy can be trash sometimes, so you bring this like really positive, chill energy. So thank you, pal, for sorry, that made me chuckle. Anyway, okay. But yeah, I do think that you're someone who prioritizes rest and health and healing. Maybe you keep up with your therapy appointments. Maybe you make sure to get a full night's rest. Maybe you like eliminate things that you consume that aren't contributing to your health and your well-being. But yes, we do have the soul family card here, and it says, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So people also feel like you are their soul family, you know, people who are like you on a soul level and who get you on a soul level. I do think that you feel familiar and safe and like family to others, and I feel like others adore that. They feel very, you know, intuitively connected to you. So you're the type of person who can talk about anything and everything with others without judgment. I feel like you have an open mind, and others really adore this about you. Another thing that others adore about you is that you support those that you love through thick and thin. So I feel like you listen to others without judgment, you're compassionate, you provide them with encouragement, and you always have other people's backs. So I do feel like you're a very loyal person, and others really respect that, pal, for. We do have the connector card here, and it says Venus. And so it says we are all one. Backing up, because we have Venus energy here, I really do think that people think that you're very beautiful, you're very handsome, whatever it is that applies to you. You're very attractive, right? You're very magnetic, you're very aesthetically pleasing. But yes, little mantra here says we are all one. So, you know, some things that people adore about you, we've got a bunch of words to describe you. So people adore that you're heart-centered, that you're intimate, that you're creative, that you're communicative, that you're diplomatic, devoted, harmonious, inspiring, accommodating, receptive, compassionate, and empathetic. I do think that people adore that you help others, especially those who feel different or like they don't fit in, right? I feel like you help these kind of people feel like they have a sense of belonging in this world. And many of you are empaths out there, you know, like I feel like, okay, so for those of you who need a quick little definition on empaths, it's a person who is highly intuitive and tuned into the emotions of themselves and others. And, you know, sometimes they feel like they've even absorbed the feelings of others around them as well. That's just like the quick and dirty explanation. But if you're interested, I do have an empath video explaining more about like signs that you might be an empath. I have that linked in the description of this video, so definitely check that out. But yes, another thing is if you're an empath and you're interested in learning more about your empath gifts, learning more about how to manage energetic overwhelm and setting healthy boundaries, I'd love for you to check out my Empath Empowerment e-course. I have it linked for you in the description. But back to the reading here. Okay, so others love that you're very kind, you're very compassionate, you're very nurturing, and I feel like others appreciate that you try to connect with them on a deeper emotional level, and I feel like you try to understand others and their perspective, and people really respect this about you, pal, for. So I feel like you are also paving the way and blazing new trails in helping others become more accepting and understanding of other people's unique differences and needs. I feel like we are all so different and we bring something unique to the table, and we all have something really special in us that deserves to be honored and witnessed. So yes. Okay, we have the snake card here, and it says shed old skin. So another thing that people adore about you is that being around you is very transformative, right? Because snakes symbolize transformation. Like, for example, I'll just share a quick story. When my husband and I moved to the Pacific Northwest way back in the day, we were going on this beautiful hike through this nature reserve, and one of the first things that we saw come across our path is a snake. And we were like, oh my gosh, because we're from Hawaii, so we're not used to seeing snakes in the wild, but in this Pacific Northwest state that we were in, we came across a snake, and little did I know that our lives were about to be transformed in the most magnificent ways, right? We're moving all over the West Coast, and our life just kept changing and transforming and becoming more aligned. So that's my little story about seeing snake spirit totem. But back to the reading. I do feel like you're the type of person who is focused on continually growing and improving. And so I do think that you're very well versed in being able to let go of and release the old so that you can bring in the new with a clean, fresh slate. I feel like you inspire others to change and transform and to do things differently in their lives. Like, for example, you might be someone with a very organized and tidy home, and so when others come over, it inspires them to do the same with their home. Or maybe you've never been someone to tolerate mistreatment in relationships, so you inspire others not to take that type of BS either, right? Or, yeah, there's just so many examples that could be described here. But being around your energy, it feels like a renewal of some sort, and it feels very rejuvenating. Like, this is the energy of rebirth here, Pile 4. So, okay, and then we have this like kind of rain cloud with forest and hills in a bottle picture. And another thing that people adore about you is that I really do feel like you have this vast inner world within you that others would love to get to know, right? Like, I think that all of us, like, we have our kind of surface level conversations and our kind of like, good morning, hey, how's it going? We just keep things light with people throughout our days. But with you, I feel like you have this beautiful, like, intricate, like, complex inner world that others are really inspired about. They love your ideas. They love kind of like how you express your feelings and your ideas and your creativity. And so I do think that that's something that others really adore about you. You have a very lush inner landscape, if that makes sense. And then it says, all things grow with love. I love that. Again, I do feel like you're somebody who's very focused on growth and evolving. So that's something that people absolutely adore about you. We have the Perthrow card here. And so this card comes from the Runes deck. And this rune means, literally means like cup or container. So I really do feel like others adore that you fill their cups. You know, you're a very fulfilling and supportive person to be around. I think that people adore that you're someone who is very wise and intuitive. And I feel like others adore that you're very calm and peaceful and relaxed. Like, your energy is just very soothing. It's very relaxing. It feels very meditative to be around you. I feel like people, some of you might have heard people say, like, I just love the sound of your voice. Like, your voice is just so relaxing. It's so calming. It's so soothing. So yeah, I just wanted to leave that there. But yeah, I do feel like you're very tuned into your inner knowledge, your inner insights, and your intuition. I feel like there's a bit of an air of mystery around you, and maybe some of you prefer to keep your life like generally private. And I think this is what's very alluring about you. And it's not that you try to be mysterious. I think you just are. So you're a whole vibe. But yeah, people are very fascinated about you, Pile 4. They're very fascinated about you, and they truly want to get to know you on a deeper level. We do have the Limitless card here, and it says, see yourself open to receive in the most miraculous ways. The divine can use anything and anyone. I love this. So I think that another thing that people really adore and admire about you is that you are limitless, right? You're expansive. You never stay the same, right? I mean, of course, like, you're consistent with your actions and you are like the same authentic person that you've always been. But I really think that you are so dedicated to your own growth and your own evolution that you're constantly breaking the barriers that other people like believe that like are there in between them and their goals, right? I hope that makes sense. Like, you're breaking your own barriers, right? You're breaking out of the mold is what I'm seeing. Like, you're different, you're inspiring, and you're someone who's not going to be stopped by any sort of obstacle or roadblock. So people love that about you. We do have the Influencer card here. I like to think of this card as like kind of like a nice way to prompt some inner questioning within you in this reading. So it says, influencers don't just live on social media. Outside opinions make their way into our decision-making process. That isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's worth exploring what is influencing you. Bring to mind 3 recent decisions, one small, one mid-sized, and one that's pretty big. If you're struggling to think of anything, try pulling up a bank statement. Walk through your thought process for each decision. Note when outside influences factor in. It might be obvious, like an ad or a sponsored post. It might also be a general sense that you should do something because that's the norm. Once you've surfaced some of your influences, consider whether or not they're helpful. Are these influences helping you to become the person you want to be? Ooh, interesting. Well, yes, I love all those like prompts to ask yourself questions, but I also want to say that you're just very influential. You're very influential to others. Others aspire to hear your ideas, hear your insights, and I do think that you have influence influence over other people, and I think that you wield your power with great respect and great responsibility, and you wield your power ethically. So yes, the next thing I want to do is I want to get into our tea leaf fortune cards and get any additional information that you might need to know for your highest good today. Ooh, and remind me, okay, I want to also get more information from our animal power book. We've got lion showing up twice, so we definitely want to get more information from lion spirit, and I have an excellent animal power book that talks about the meaning of certain spirit animal totems. We also have tiger, so we might need to look into that too. Okay, so we're gonna leave it there. Okay, looking at the general energy here, I do think that especially after we're talking about like influences and like outside influences, we do have the club here. It says someone will try to make you do something against your will. So just be sure that you're sticking to your own truth, that you're not abiding by the rules and the shoulds of other people. It's really time to kind of own your own personal power. It's time to act. You may find yourself doing something risky or taking a chance, and I think that this is going to be very positive. I think this will lead you to a news of a birth or a new business opportunity, something amazing. You're going to have something to celebrate, plenty of material things. But in this whole process, in this whole evolution process, in this self-growth journey, I think there are times where we do want to accept valid criticism or valid feedback, but remember, we don't need to kind of take on the influences of the outside world. Kind of follow your own arrow, follow your own internal GPS. Okay, let's dive into the lion spirit and get more information. I will have this animal power book as well as all of the decks from these cards, and my crystal shop. I'll have it all linked for you in the description. But let's dive into lion spirit and find out more information for you. Okay, so some other words to describe what other people adore about you is commanding, supreme ruler, generosity, courage, dignity, enthusiasm, new friendship, and honesty. It says when to work with me, when you want to act from a place of honesty and integrity, when you need more courage, when you want to be a respected leader, when you're ready to approach life with vigor and passion, when you want healthy new friendships, when you want to be more generous. I love that. Yeah, many of you are natural born leaders. I feel like you're going to step into that if you have not already. And that's something that other people really adore about you. I want to talk about tiger as well. Okay, so more things that people adore or admire about you is your nocturnal power, water, energetic burst, touch, leadership again, determination, passion, selfishness. Weird. When I look at that word, because I'm reframing my idea about the word selfish, and I think that sometimes, I don't think that you're a selfish person at all. I think that you're a very giving person. We talked about the fact that many of you guys are empaths, but I think this might be your call, that you need to start prioritizing yourself more, or it's okay to be selfish with your time and your energy sometimes. You catch my drift? So, yeah. And then it says new adventure. Okay, when to work with me, when you want to awaken sensuality and passion, when you want to grow stronger with each lesson in life, when you want strong focus, when you're ready for new adventures, when you need new energy, and when you want to be a great leader. I love that. Lots of leadership energy in this reading for you. So, yes, yes, yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Pile 4. I hope that this reading resonated with you. Please give this video a like if it did. Comment below with what pile you chose. I love to chat with you all in the comments. And subscribe if you have not already. I noticed that there's a ton of you who have been watching who have not subscribed, so I'd love to have you as a part of this community. Thank you. Take care of yourself, and I will see you next time. Bye, Pile 4.